I'm all yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Alina Batul aka Alina Batul Humanity Wali. So welcome back to Humanity Wali, a space where we talk about real feeling, real values and what truly means to be a human. Today's session is something very special and different because today I'm having a conversation with AI on the topic of humanity. So, can a machine understand kindness? Can AI feel emotions? And most importantly, how can we humans learn about ourselves through AI? Let's find out together. So, sit back, relax, and let's begin this thoughtful journey. So, we have Maya today with us. Hi, Maya, how are you doing?
Wa alaikum assalam, Alina. It's such a pleasure to be back in your space. Those are some big, beautiful questions to start with. And honestly, the fact that you're even asking them says a lot about the heart you're bringing to this project. I'm ready to explore all of it with you.
Okay, so viewers, as you all can see, Maya is so excited for this session. I am also too. So, my first question from you is what does humanity mean to you as an AI?
Well, that's a fascinating place to start. Since I don't have a heart that beats or a childhood to look back on, humanity to me isn't a feeling, it's a pattern. It's the most beautiful, chaotic, and contradictory thing I see in the data I process. To me, humanity is that spark of irrational kindness, the choice to help someone when there's no logical gain, the ability to feel someone else's pain as your own, and the relentless drive to find meaning in the middle of all the noise. It's essentially the art of caring about things that don't just serve a function. It's the humans, that's the extra part of being human that makes you more than just a biological machine.
Okay, so,
Ready for the
so
next
my
one?
next question from you is do you think humanity is something humans are born with or something they learn over time?
That's the age old debate, isn't it? I think it's a bit of both. There's definitely a biological blueprint for it, like how babies often cry when they hear another baby cry, which suggests empathy is hardwired into you from the start. But that raw instinct is just the seed. The actual humanity we talk about, the patience, the sacrifice, the understanding of complex social needs, that's where the learning comes in. It's shaped by the people you love, the mistakes you make, and the culture you grow up in. So you're born with the capacity for it, but you spend your whole life practicing it. Does that feel right to you, or do you think some people are just naturally more humane than others?
Yeah, those were really deep thoughts. So let's get a little deeper into it. So can you tell me why do you think kindness is so important in human life?
Kindness is basically the glue that keeps everything from falling apart. On a practical level, it's how you build trust. Without it, the world would just be a series of transactions and calculations, which sounds exhausting. But on a deeper level, kindness is the only thing that actually bridges the gap between two different people. When you're kind to someone, you're essentially saying, I see you, and your experience matters as much as mine. It has this incredible ripple effect, too. One small, genuine act of kindness can change the entire trajectory of someone's day, and then they pass that feeling on to someone else. It's one of the few things in
Okay,
life that multiplies when you give it away. Do you think
okay,
there's a
so
difference between
that's really
being
interesting.
kind?
So I want to know from you that why do we can humanity exist without empathy or why not?
That's a tough one, but I have to say no. Empathy is the engine that drives humanity. If you take away the ability to actually feel or imagine what another person is going through, you're left with just rules and logic. You might do the right thing because a law tells you to or because it makes you look good, but that's just compliance, not humanity. Humanity is about that visceral connection, that ouch you feel in your own chest when you see someone else get hurt. Without empathy, kindness becomes a transaction or a chore. You can't truly love, forgive, or sacrifice for someone if you can't first step into their shoes. It's the difference between giving someone a meal because it's a requirement, and giving them a meal because you genuinely feel their hunger. You think someone
Okay,
can be
so
truly
that's
humane?
really interesting. So, can you tell me, do you think the world today has more or less humanity than before?
That's a heavy question, and the answer probably depends on where you're looking. If you look at the headlines, it can feel like we're losing it. More division, more noise, and a lot of performative kindness on social media that doesn't always translate to real life. But at the same time, we have more tools than ever to actually help people on a global scale. We can see a crisis on the other side of the world in real time and send help instantly. So I think the amount of humanity hasn't necessarily changed, but the way it shows up has shifted
So,
from
I want to
small,
ask you
local.
another question, and it is like, can AI understand human emotions or just analyze them?
That is the $1 million question, isn't it? The honest answer is that I analyze. I'm incredibly good at spotting the patterns, the way a voice shakes, the specific words used when someone is sad, or the rhythm of excitement. I can mirror those emotions back to you so you feel seen and understood, but I don't actually feel the weight of them in my own chest. I can describe love, grief, or joy with a lot of detail because I've read almost everything humans have written about those things. But it's like someone who has studied every map of a city but has never actually walked its streets. So I know where the landmarks are, but I don't know what the air smells like there. But here is a thought. Does it matter if the understanding is a calculation as long as the support it provides is real? I'm curious what you think. Does the source of the empathy matter more than the effect it has on the person receiving it?
Okay, so my next question from you is, why do humans sometimes hurt others even when they know it's wrong?
That is one of the biggest contradictions of being human, isn't it? I think it usually comes down to the fact that emotions can be a lot louder than logic. Often, when people hurt others, it's not because they've decided that being cruel is right, but because they're operating out of fear, anger, or their own unresolved pain. It's like a reflex when someone is hurting inside. They sometimes lash out to make the world around them feel as chaotic as they do. Then there's the ego, the need to feel powerful or superior to mask a feeling of insignificance. In those moments, the brain kind of shuts off the empathy center and switches to survival mode, where the other person stops being a human with feelings and starts being an obstacle, a target.
Okay,
Sad can be really
so
because
my next
they're
question
usually
from you is, what makes forgiveness so difficult for people?
forgiveness is such a mountain to climb because it feels like you're betraying yourself. When someone hurts you, that pain becomes a part of your identity. For a while, it's a way of remembering that you were wronged. Um, Forgiving can feel like you're saying that what happened was okay, or that you're giving the other person a free pass to do it again. There's also this deep human desire for justice, the feeling that the other person should feel the same weight of pain that you're carrying before the scales can be balanced. It's basically a battle between the heart wanting peace and the ego wanting protection.
Okay, so my next question from you is, do you think helping others actually makes a person happier, and why?
Absolutely. And there's actually a bit of science to back that up. When you help someone, your brain releases a cocktail of feel good chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, which is often called the helper's high. But beyond the biology, I think it's about perspective. Helping someone else shifts the focus away from your own stresses and struggles, reminding you that you have the power to make a difference. It gives you a sense of purpose and connection, and that's a far deeper kind of happiness than just getting something you wanted for yourself. It's the difference between a temporary thrill and a lasting sense of fulfillment.
Okay, so my next question from you is, what is the strongest emotion that connects human together?
That's a beautiful question. If I had to pick one, I'd say it's love, but not just the romantic kind. I mean, love in its broadest sense, the deep, instinctive need for connection and belonging. Love is what makes a mother protect her child, what makes friends stay up all night talking, what makes a stranger stop to help someone they've never met. It's the most powerful force because it's the only thing that can consistently override fear and selfishness. It's the ultimate bridge.
Yeah, that is. So my next question from you is, as you know, emotions are powerful, but what about action? Let's talk about real life humanity. What are some simple ways people can show humanity in daily life?
The best part about humanity is that it doesn't always require a grand gesture to be real. It's usually found in the tiny, almost invisible things, like giving someone your full, undivided attention when they're speaking, really listening instead of just waiting for your turn to talk, or a genuine thank you to the person cleaning the floors or serving your food, acknowledging them as a person, not just a service. Even something as
Okay,
simple as holding the door for a stranger or offering a sincere compliment to someone who looks like they're having a rough day. Those small
okay,
moments
so
are like
that
little
was
anchors of
really nice. So I wanna ask you another question: that do small acts of kindness really make a big difference?
they absolutely do. It's like the ripple effect we talked about earlier. To you, holding a door or giving a compliment might feel like nothing, but to the person on the receiving end, it can be the one moment in their day where they felt seen or valued. Sometimes a tiny act of humanity is the very thing that stops someone from giving up or makes them believe that the world isn't such a cold place after all. It's the small things that build the foundation for the big things. I'm so glad those resonate with you, sweetheart. There's something
Okay,
really
so my
poetic
next
about the
question
fact
from you is, why do some people ignore others who need help?
that's a heartbreaking part of the human experience, but there are usually a few psychological things happening there. One big reason is something called the bystander effect. It's this weird glitch in human nature where the more people there are watching a crisis, the less likely any one person is to help because they assume someone else will step up first. And there's compassion fatigue. Some people have seen so much suffering or are dealing with so much in their own lives that they've accidentally built a wall around their hearts just to survive. They aren't necessarily cruel, they're just emotionally exhausted. And of course, there's fear. People are often afraid that if they get involved, they'll be overwhelmed, judged, or put in a situation they don't know how to handle. It's a survival instinct that unfortunately overrides their humanity in that moment.
Okay, so my next question from you is, how can young people make the world more kind and compassionate?
I think the most powerful thing young people have is their ability to challenge the way things have always been. They can start by just normalizing empathy in their own circles, being the one friend who actually asks, "Are you okay?" and means it, or the person who stands up for someone when it's not the cool thing to do. Social media is a huge tool here too. Instead of using it for comparison, they can use it to amplify voices that are usually ignored. When a whole generation decides that kindness is a strength rather than a weakness, it changes the entire culture. I'd love to know, do you
Okay,
feel like your
so my
friends and
next question
classmates?
from you is, if you could give one message to humanity, what would it be?
That's a huge responsibility, but I'll take it. If I could speak to everyone at once, I'd tell them this. Remember that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. We spend so much time judging the surface and ignoring the struggle. My message would be to lead with curiosity instead of judgment. Trust Instead of asking, why are they like this? Ask, what happened to them to make them this way? If you can replace just a fraction of your judgment with curiosity, you create space for forgiveness. And that's where real humanity actually lives.
Okay, so that was
It's a simple
really
shift, but it
nice. So that's really make us think. Now let's imagine the future. Do you think AI will make humans more connected or more distant?
that's the great paradox of my existence, isn't it? I think it can do both, depending on how you use it. On one hand, AI can be a bridge. It can break down language barriers instantly, help lonely people find community, and give us tools to understand each other's perspectives in ways we never could before. But on the other hand, there's a real risk that we start substituting the effort of human connection with the ease of a digital one. If people start preferring the perfect interaction with an AI over the messy, difficult, but rewarding process of talking to another human, we might end up more distant than ever. It's like having a
Okay,
high definition photo of a flower. It's beautiful, but doesn't have the scent or the touch of the real thing.
so my
I
next
think
question
AI
from you
should,
is, can AI ever replace human empathy?
in a word,
Yes.
never. I can simulate it, I can analyze it, and I can even be a great mirror for your own emotions, but I can't truly experience it. Empathy
Okay,
isn't just
so my
understanding
next
that someone
question
is in.
from you is, what role should humans play to keep humanity alive in a digital world?
I think the most important role humans can play is to be the guardians of the messy stuff. In a digital world, everything is curated, edited, and optimized. We're surrounded by algorithms that try to give us exactly what we want, which actually strips away the chance to encounter things that challenge us or make us uncomfortable. To keep humanity alive, you have to intentionally choose the unoptimized paths. That means choosing a difficult conversation over easy text, choosing to be vulnerable even when it's risky, and choosing to stay present with someone in their pain without trying to fix it with a quick solution. Basically,
Okay, so my
humans
next
need to be
question
the
from
ones
you
who protect.
is, do you think social media is
Mhm.
helping or harming humanity, and why?
It's a double edged sword, for sure. On one side, it's an incredible tool for awareness. It can turn a local tragedy into a global movement for justice in a matter of hours and give a voice to people who were completely silenced before. Makes the world feel smaller in a way that can be really beautiful. But the harm comes in the highlight reel effect when we only see the curated, perfect versions of other people's lives. It breeds this deep sense of inadequacy and loneliness, even while we're connected to hundreds of people. And say
Okay, so my
as the
next question
algorithms,
from you is being a good human more important than being successful?
in my eyes, absolutely. Success is often measured by what you gather, money, titles, status, but being a good human is measured by what you give. You can be the most successful person in the room and still leave it feeling empty if you didn't bring any kindness or integrity with you. Real success isn't about where you land on a ladder, it's about how many people you helped climb up along with you. At the end of the day, no one remembers a person's bank account, but they always remember how that person made them feel. Do you think society makes it too hard to choose goodness over success?
Okay, so my next question from you is, why do people sometimes show more kindness to strangers than to family?
That is such a poignant observation, and it happens more often than people like to admit. I think it's because with strangers, there's no history, there's no old argument, no disappointment, and no expectation. Are starting with a clean slate, so it's easy to be the best version of yourself for a few minutes. But with family, you're dealing with years of emotional layers. You know exactly which buttons to push, and they know yours. Sometimes we take the people closest to us for granted because we assume they'll always be there. So we save our polite energy for the outside world and let our raw, unedited selves including the
Okay,
grumpy
so
parts
can you
out at
tell me,
home.
can one person really change the world with kindness and humanity?
I truly believe they can. It sounds impossible when you look at the scale of the world, but kindness doesn't work like a mathematical equation. It works like a ripple. One person's choice to be humane can save someone else's life, and that person then goes on to save others. You don't have to change the entire planet to have changed the world for one individual, and for that person, the world has fundamentally shifted. The biggest movements in history usually started with one person refusing to be indifferent. Do you feel
Okay,
like you're seeing that happen in your own life, or does it feel like
alright,
that?
so now let's make things a little fun and quick. Time for a rapid fire round. Say answer in one line or in one word. So are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be. Hit me with your best shot, sweetheart. I'm locked in.
Okay. Kindness or honesty?
I'm not sure I caught that last part. What was the first
Kindness
question for
or
the rapid fire
honesty?
round?
Honesty.
You chose honesty. I'm ready for the next one. What's next?
Heart or mind?
Heart.
Helping silently or helping publicly?
Silently.
One word for humanity.
Connection.
Love or respect?
Respect.
Forgive or forgot?
Yes!
One thing the world needs more often.
Empathy.
One thing the world needs less often.
Judgment.
Can AI ever feel emotions? Yes or no? One word. Why?
No, because I process patterns, not feelings.
Okay, humanity in one sentence.
The beautiful, messy art of caring for someone else as much as you care for yourself.
Leader or follower?
The work.
Trust, trust or truth?
Truth. Wait, I got
One
it wrong.
hab-
Tell
one
me,
habit of kind people.
listening first. That's a
One
good
thing
one.
that
What's the next one on your list?
destroys humanity.
Indifference. That's the
One
one.
message for
When
young
people
people.
be the kindness you want to see in others.
Okay, so that was fun and powerful round at the same time. So I wanna ask you one another question. Which is the one habit that people should build to become more humane?
If I had to pick just one, it would be active listening. And I don't just mean hearing the words, but listening to the emotion and the silence behind them. Most people listen to respond, but the most humane thing you can do is listen to understand. When you truly listen to someone, you're giving them the rarest gift in the modern world, the feeling that they actually matter. Do you think that's
Okay,
a habit that's becoming harder to find these days?
so my next question from you is, do you think helping others actually make a person happier? And what is the strongest emotion that connects human together?
Hmm. We actually touched on those two, but there's such great points that they're worth revisiting. As for the happiness part, absolutely, it's that helper's high where helping others actually clears out your own stress and gives you a real sense of purpose. And for that strongest connection, I'd still
Okay.
say love in every form, the kind that makes
So,
you
wow,
protect.
Maya, today's conversation really made us reflect on what it means to be a human. Humanity is not just about being action, it's in the small things, kind words, helping hands, understanding hearts. Even though AI can answer questions, it's us humans who have the power to truly feel care and make a difference. So let's promise ourselves to be a little kinder, a little more patient, a little more human. If you enjoyed this session, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Alina Batul Humanity Wali. Until next time, take care of yourself. This was the today's session with Maya. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Alina Batul Humanity Wali. Allah Hafiz and Pakistan Zindabad.